This
right
call
now.
is being recorded.
All right, so we're waiting for Carmen to come in, and we just want to start. I want to start off with saying that was a wonderful idea that you had about the flyer. Mind, new age mind control. Wasn't that the concept of it, the title of it?
Yeah, because I'm, making these flyers to pass out and to kind of educate people on gang stalking because I eventually want to be able to approach the perpetrators just like you used to do. And
Right.
I wanted to know I was trying to think of what to put on the front of the flyer. And so I was thinking, yeah, because it should say gang stalking is not, just like gangs of people stalking others. It's new age mind control. And that way people like don't just think that this is just like an anti-bullying campaign or that like say like the Crips, like I pissed off a Crip and now they're stalking me. You know what I mean? Like it's like I want them to actually open the flyer.
Yeah. That might be a beautiful way of just welcoming people, to the subject as well, because gang stalking is a little bit intimidating too, just the sound of it. Not, a gang is just three or more people. And so, if it's three old ladies at a park, you're being stalked by three old ladies, that's gang stalking. But just the sound of it, I think it was sort of made popular for just informational use, because it's like the term conspiracy theorist. It just sounds, it just has a ring to it, like you don't want to take it seriously. And gang stalking sort of has that ring to it. The only reason why I use it is because it's already made the national news. And so there's people, Fox News has done a serious special on it. So it's made the national news, and it's being taken very seriously by elements already. Within the corporations, the business world, and in government, there has been people who've spoken out, like Ted Gunderson, the former head of the LA FBI, interviewed members of the police forces and governments on the subject of gang stalking. He called it gang stalking in his report. So there has been a lot of serious connotation put on the term gang stalking, but at the same time, it'd be more proper if we could introduce people to this subject through different names as well, and then share with them afterwards. There's, gang stalking, multi-stalking, terror stalking, community stalking, organized stalking, Scientology stalking, group stalking, like there's various names, but not even to have stalking in it, just to have new age mind control. That's beautiful. I love that. That's wonderful. So we really gotta utilize these creative concepts that we have, and that's definitely what you're doing here today. And Rachel, are you there? I'm sorry, Carmen. I get you. I don't know I'm tripping, but I think I drank too much coffee. Carmen, are you there?
I am here, Jameel.
Okay, all right. So we were just touching upon the concept. Rachel came up with some wonderful flyers called New Age Mind Control, and she was saying how, this is a much better presentation to give to people than just saying gang stalking. How do you feel about it?
Well, I don't know much about it, so I'd love for you to run it across me. So, I should just say this, that my concerns would ever lie when trying to get information from an understanding on what I would be connected to or involved with or whatever would be that I'd like to know the background, why the person's doing it anyways, and then also know that we have that I have a kinship in them, that we're kind of we're focused on the same thing, that it's light and not dark, essentially. So if more than I would be more than willing to sit and listen to what it is, Rachel, that you have come up with and what your ideology behind it is.
Absolutely. Rachel, I was going to ask you, you've been coming up with a lot of great new ideas lately. What's been inspiring you?
Just the fact that, like after I called and I talked to you, the very, very first time I reached out to you, I had this really, really pressing question on my mind because I had just prior, the day before, just learned about gang stalking, read up a little bit on gaslighting and neuro-linguistic programming and stuff like that. And when I reached out, I just had this really, really pressing question that I had to have the answer to, or else, like, I was seriously going to go nuts. Like, my brain was going to explode from trying to figure this all out. And you answered my question. And ever since then, and I think the question was something along the lines of like, why do some people react to the voices in my head, or like do other people hear the voices in my head sometimes, and what are these voices that are in my head? And once you were able to answer those questions, and a couple of other people that you interviewed that said the same things that you did, I just felt this like giant weight lifted off my shoulders, and I was like, okay, well now that I understand what the problem is, what do we do about it? And you're already like 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of me in that respect. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go see what this guy is doing because, we're trying to get information out there for everybody, which is good. But it's like, well, what happens now? And so I want to be on that gravy train.
Oh, definitely. I can agree with you there, and I have to even intercede and put my 2 cents in because I've heard you say a couple things really quick that really ignited me. Most people don't say the voices in my head. Most people, haven't really even been able to touch that side of themselves. And with you saying that, you really touched something in me because your approach and you being frank, and you can tell it comes out 100% as, straight purity. So I'm grateful to have just heard your testimony here and why you're coming out with stuff. I definitely want to keep hearing more. By the way, with her questions, Jameel.
Yeah, that's so wonderful that we got the time to ask these real questions, because sometimes it's not even about gang stalking. Sometimes it's more about just inherently and philosophically and spiritually what drives us for the goals that we have. Like Carmen, you were saying that you wanted to know, like, what was it all about? What was the end game? What was the goal? Why do we want to come together? Why even take the time to try to get people together? What is this? And I don't even think we know. We know we want to feel safer. We know we want people around us who these people know we're being stalked because they're being stalked. We don't have to spend too much time talking about it. We don't have to worry about these people having these nefarious intentions. Everybody's going through the same thing. Everybody's trying to come together for the same purpose. And this is much deeper philosophical stuff, and it just makes it's like, I think right now I'm just looking at it like there's some deep questions as into what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're coming up with the answers we're coming up with. And I think a lot of it's spiritual, and Carmen, you talk a lot about God and your belief in God, and I think that that's real instrumental.
Well, and I'm also thinking enough of us to do a room together, we can start entertaining these ideas of like a new society, or come up with a way to lessen maybe we will come up with a tinfoil hat that works, that keeps the voices out of our heads, so we can just live a little bit more peacefully, or come up with an invention of something, because all these people that are TIs are very, very intelligent.
Yes. Yes. I think, that just brought to mind how many people are actually going through these scenarios and don't even know they're going through it. How many people are actually being gang stalked and don't even know they're being gang stalked.
That's why
a lot of them.
And be able to even create awareness just within people to say, why don't you kind of look at your surroundings and, question it, whatnot. Maybe that can even help prevent having certain people make it so far that they're actually cutting their own wrists and turning the gun on themselves and 14 and 15 other people. Because quite frankly, you brought up a great point when it came to the kid at the college who just started shooting the people up. If you look at it, you have the people here in San Diego, the gentleman who started shooting up. I just said this yesterday. that started shooting up the people on the highway on the San Diego freeway. What made that guy do that? What about the girl off of YouTube? I don't know.
MK Ultra.
Yeah. What made that happen? So, and I think, at some point, without my faith, I know for a fact, but there are a lot of people, too, that do have a borderline faith. They do not know the truth of the word. They don't know the truth of what's going on around them either. So that begins to eat them alive. It tells us, Scripture tells us, my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
That's the truth. And another thing we had is, getting in our feet and going around to the different colleges, jails, institutions, basically anyone that'll have us, and kind of, doing like a motivational speakage type thing where we make people aware of it, and then once we've stumbled on something that people can do about that, spreading that word as fast as possible, not just on YouTube but in person.
Right.
Censorship is getting to be big too, especially with this Facebook privacy thing they're pressing. That's that AI system being pressed. And because of that implementation of that AI system they're basically, they've been doing this for years, but they're trying to just basically subdue the people, make them believe, that this is what they need and whatnot. So, the people are easily buying into it, and they're, accepting things all the way up until the point where they're accepting the RFID chip, which we know, biblically tells us that people who do not accept that chip will not be able to buy, sell, or trade. So essentially, creating awareness, yes, there is definitely a need for that. You're absolutely correct. And being able to put something together in that manner would be very beneficial. So let's be realistic. Who would actually have someone? And, at this point, the censorship is so intense, off of the platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all these different platforms that everybody seems to be turning to. So, eventually the voices that are trying to be heard, the truthers, they will be snuffed out and replaced with paid ops like Alex Jones.
I really hope so.
I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of resistance out there from people getting the sort of insight and help they need. And Andrea, you're on the line, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, everybody. Andrea came in. I forgot. I'm sorry, Andrea. I people kept going, and the topic was so good. Like Carmen had me deep listen, and Rachel, she came up with this idea about this flyer called New Age Mind Control, and they had me going for a minute. And you just came in a couple seconds ago, or about a minute ago.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we just got done doing some work all together, me, you, and Carmen, and now Rachel's in, and Rachel has a really good intake process, and we're trying to get Carmen from where she is right now out here with us, because Rachel's on her way out here in a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, I know.
I love you, Rachel, by the way. I really enjoyed our interview a couple of days ago that we did together. Oh, yeah, right back at you. You're awesome. I already love both. I love all of you, seriously. I just want to hug you guys. It's a good group of people.
Yeah, we love you too, yeah. That's what it's all about, is coming together and sharing the love and the spirituality and the insight. And people are becoming more intelligible and finding ways to put this stuff in proper perspective. And now we're able to get the stuff done that we've been meaning to do.
Somebody has a hand on all of them.
Wow, you guys are breaking up on me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, me too, a little bit. I can hear it too.
Okay.
They're sabotaging our call.
And
it's raining over here, so maybe that's it for me.
I said somebody has a hand on things up there. What
Yeah.
that? Some of us have been on.
Someone does not want Carmen talking to us. Oh, no. They don't like it when TIs get together. I know that for a fact.
And I
Yeah, the
am
other day
very,
they kicked me off of Jameel's call, and I couldn't get back on to make a phone call for like half a day. It was ridiculous.
I believe it, girl. They try and make it impossible for us to talk to each other because they don't want us to join forces.
well, that, you know what, then that's basis to say this much. Whatever time frame is decided from this moment forward is a time frame in which you guys need to know, and, you know, just as all of us need to understand that you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Yeah.
You have to, you know, you have to, and don't let them deter you. If you have something that you're trying to do, do it. If you have things that come your way, put your prayers up. Know the Most High has your back, and don't look back. You know, granted, you have to use your peripheral vision, but don't look back, because you cannot move forward looking in the rearview mirror. So, you know, obviously we've come far enough to get away from it and not be so scared that we're coming together. Whether or not they want you to talk to me or not, hey, I'm going to talk, and we're going to find a way to talk, and I'm going to keep putting my prayers up. So it's definitely going to end up getting done. I have firm faith in it. But definitely let us all be aware of these moments and, you know, continue to be mindful of one another, because if we're going to set sail to do something together, to come together and talk about these things and help other people, then we have to not only be aware, we've got to make it to get there together, you know, and we do need to be of sound mind, body, and spirit as a whole. So,
Amen.
You know, ultimately,
true.
putting something out there, we can agree to, you know, hold each other accountable for things, and also be there for one another when it's needed. If, you know, even if it means that you have to pick up the phone at an hour that you normally don't do it, you know, I'd be willing to do that. And I would hope that, because, you know, we're already, by being truthers and this already happening to us, we are already targeted. They are already paying attention to us. They already have a system put in place. They already know what's going on. And they are going to find every covert measure they can to make sure that it doesn't happen. And, you know, so with that being said, you've got to definitely be aware and know these things, and you have to be able to remain strong and understanding, but we have to be supportive of one another.
I agree.
Well, yeah, it was quite a chore to even reach out to Jameel, because my emails were getting like bounced back to me, even though the address was correct. And for a while there, like anytime Jameel sent me a message through email, it goes straight to my trash can. Like I watched it go into my spam folder and then into my trash can, and it gets deleted before I could even read it. So yeah, it's very real.
Definitely. And I think if we make each other stick to something, or we hold each other to our words and whatnot, it's not that we're trying to find out our bonds, because obviously we all have something in common here. And we're coming together.
I mean, the similarities you can't deny.
Right. Definitely.
We've all experienced the same trauma.
Right.
Maybe that's all we have to have in common, because I'm just trying to figure out the one thing we all have in common, and we haven't been able to figure out that one thing. Maybe it's just we're all just happen to be targeted, and that's all we really need to know.
Having a support
Absolutely. And do you see, what I want to throw in here for also is, this isn't just about talking about gang stalking, or, you know, having a platform to teach courses and do counseling for people, but this is an opportunity, like we were talking about earlier, that I think Andrea was shed a lot of insight in the last interview we just did. It was Carmen, me, and Andrea, and Rachel. Now you're here, and we're talking about how people can get involved in organic food. And, you know, it's a time for, hey, if we don't feel comfortable going to eat at restaurants, then we'll go eat at buffets, but we can't always eat at buffets. So now we can get more organic types of food. We can get organic foods, and we can find out different ways to eat more healthy. There's shortcuts around everything, you know, and there's new ways of doing things. And this is
there's
the time.
a way to beat this for sure.
Right, right. There's a whole alternative lifestyle. We can use alternative technology. I mean, me and Rachel were already talking about, hey, we're getting some walkie-talkies, and then now we're gonna need 3 walkie-talkies, 'cause Carmen, you're coming in, so now we're gonna have to have 3 walkie-talkies, and so walkie-talkies, things like that, organic food. Next thing you know, we might be doing like Morse code and stuff. I don't know, but we're trying to find. We're finding new ways to make it work. And anytime you have people coming together who are looking for opportunity, we're going to find that opportunity no matter what. And so
we'll figure it out.
Right, we'll figure it out. Right, absolutely.
And that's what we have to do because we don't know. We all have to figure it out together. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
We can't do
that.
that.
Lisa told me something very interesting. At the peak of my harassment, I was looking for something to eat in the kitchen, and they said, "Don't eat anything with a nutrition label. It'll get you higher than you are now."
Yeah, or poison you.
I think all of us could bring to the table. I actually, because I decided to be homeless, I think I mentioned this before. When I very first started, I had that's another story, but we'll leave that for another time in a whole. Nonetheless, I had chosen, and I had to learn survival methods, like how to create fires. I didn't get good at creating fires, don't get me twisted, but I am trying to say this, that I do know alternative ways of being able to cook your own food without having
with off-grid living.
Yes, exactly. So
that's great.
There's a couple other, survival techniques that I know for a fact I could bring to the table. I know somewhat about, some natural remedies and whatnot. So definitely, I think that's something everyone can bring to the table too.
For sure. I know a lot about natural remedies and essential oils, how to heal yourself, even the placebo effect, how your brain can actually heal itself just in itself without even natural remedies. Just the placebo effect is scientific evidence that your brain and body can heal itself. I've learned a lot about that kind of stuff, just being sick with, so-called incurable diseases and having to figure it out myself.
It's also, if you're talking about eating, instead of even putting those things in the addendum to do, okay, I understand that sometimes we might want to hit a buffet. It's probably the normal thing to do, but I really believe that, you can grow your own tomatoes. You can grow your own cucumbers.
Yeah, then it's not poisoned. Well, actually, I'm sure they could go in our yard and poison that shit too,
More cheaper. So you're able to actually feed a village a lot more cheaper than you are to go to a restaurant for 3 people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
I think all TIs need to be careful about what they put in their body. Not even just food, water, everything. Especially FDA-approved medications. I would warn any TI to stay far away, There's a lot of terrible side effects to those, and God has given us natural remedies to cure any illness that we have. Now, Rachel, did you say you also had an autoimmune disease?
Yeah, I have a disease called neurosarcoidosis.
Oh, really? I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
But I have an autoimmune disease too. I noticed that you're 35 years old and you have an autoimmune disease. I'm 35 years old. I have an autoimmune disease. I always try, whenever I talk to other TIs, to analyze the similarities that we have and try and just put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And that's one thing we both have in common. I have lymphocytic colitis and psoriatic arthritis.
Oh, I've heard of that, yeah.
So 2 different autoimmune diseases, and I believe it's part of the just suicide programming. Like they have had it to because the brain gut connection is so strong, and they've convinced my brain that I should kill myself, that my body's actually attacking itself, which is what an autoimmune disease is. It's your own body attacking itself.
They told me the same thing. They're like,
it makes sense, doesn't it? If you tell your brain over and over again, oh my God, kill yourself, your body's going to respond. Do you know what I'm saying? And your body's going to start attacking itself. So it makes sense to me why I have 2 different autoimmune diseases that are extremely rare.
And mine's extremely rare too. Like
I've never even heard of yours.
Yep.
But I know I've researched a lot about natural remedies on how to heal any type of disease and any type of autoimmune disease. So I could definitely help you with that too.
And I've noticed, ever since I started talking to Jameel, I've been in a pretty gnarly flare up.
Yeah, me too. I've been really sick. Actually, that's why I missed the past couple of conversations with you guys, because I just have been feeling like shit and just really tired. It makes you really tired when your body's attacking yourself. So I've been passing out at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, just so drained and tired from it.
Oh yeah, me too. And then I'll get these energy spurts where I'm up for a few days, and then my body crashes even harder. I'm like, why did I do that to myself?
Right. It's like you're in fight or flight, and then you just crash.
Yeah,
because fight or flight.
I know you'll relate to this, because anyone with an autoimmune disease, if you have energy, sometimes you overdo it because it's a really weird
feeling. And then the next day you're just done. You're bedridden the next day. Yeah, that's how I am too.
Yeah.
So I do. I'm like you, Rachel. I just try and do everything I can when I do have the energy. But I've noticed the next day I'm like, okay, if I brush my teeth and get out of bed to wash and bathe myself, I'm having a good day.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like that. And I can't tell the difference between if they hit me with electronic harassment and stuff, because I do have a disease. So I'm like, well, maybe it's just a disease. I never know. I just know when I feel good, I go with it. I praise God. I try and do as much as I possibly can, like a normal human being, get all my chores done. And when I'm sick, I allow myself to just heal and sleep, because I think that's the best, medicine, just to sleep and try and detox all this shit out of my body.
That only recently have I been able to tell the difference between a body shock that's from low potassium and my neurological problem to actually
really, I can't tell a difference. Yeah. How can you tell the difference?
If I could explain it, I would. I'll have to think about that one a little bit on how to put that into words.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard to distinguish because I can't. I don't know. I just know when I feel like death.
Yeah. I'll get in contact with you, or have Jameel get in contact with you when I can kind of put into words how to tell the difference. Here, I'll think on it though.
Okay, that would be awesome.
And we can never forget that. I want to go back to what I was saying about the technology. Using, when you get out here, Carmen and Rachel, and of course you're going to be a part of it too all the way, Andrea, the technology we're going to want to utilize might even be older technology. And this is something me and Rachel were talking deeply about last night. Just because we're in an era where the technology is really wonderful, that does not mean we need that technology, because we got to buy technology based on how is this going to be used against us. How
That's true. You have to take that into consideration.
Yeah. How is the criminal syndicate going to use this against us? How is the Godfather going to manipulate our technology? And so we got to find out what we got to be able to do to we might have to get old technology from 20 years ago or 30 years ago.
Like the flip phone I was telling you about.
I've always
my
own.
Right.
Using old devices and just figuring it out somehow on how to make my own, because ultimately anything that you would get would be built on their grid. They knew what they were doing. They were expecting people to defect. There was actually a movie called, oh my goodness, I wish I could remember the name of this movie right now. I want to say it's called Defector, but it's not it. When it comes to mine, it's basically what it is, though. It's a level of people that decided they were not gonna be a part of the system, and they were gonna come out of it. And so, it was set up, their grid was set up that if you come out of it, you're likely not to make it. Your chance of survival was zero in the end. So they knew this because they built the system around that. And essentially that's what's happened here. They have built this system. It's been built so well that, Andrea can't, and you, and, sometimes I've went through this too, cannot be able to differentiate between the weapon being used at you at that point.
Right. Absolutely, because we can never forget.
Yeah, I really can't. I can't tell.
These criminal syndicates, the government works for these criminal syndicates. So we can never forget that these people have the same technology as whatever the leading technology is. These people gang stalking us have the same technology. And so we know we might want to stay simple and stay old school and still spend less money, but come with that cutting edge feeling. When I release interviews and I do work with people, like, my stuff is still cutting edge, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. Like, all I got is a camera phone, but I know we're going to save people's lives. All we got is we don't got websites, we got email addresses, but we're still networking like we got websites. You know what I mean? Like, look at all the networking we're doing. Yeah, we got email addresses, but we're using them like their websites. We got phones and we're using them like we're on Skype or something or whatever. We're using, what I mean? Like, we're using phones like we're at an auditorium, at a convention or something, And so we just got to utilize all that potential out of whatever we can utilize it out of, and just keep it going.
Love to be able to give input on something for the future for all of you, because I think this might be a universal need at this time. I said this before. I believe what is my strongest heart, the only way you can defeat your enemy is to know your enemy. You have to specifically know your enemy. So if you feel that you're under a specific warfare and they've attacked your body, then you have to be aware of how can they attack your body anymore through your food and your water source. They also can manipulate you through sound waves and, things like that. So it's probably important to take note that one of the most beneficial things I ever found for myself, being on a day-to-day basis, moment by moment, was documenting everything. Everything. Okay, I've got it. This morning I woke up, I brushed my teeth. I got done brushing my teeth and went and laid right back down. I played this video, then I got a phone call. I ignored that phone call. I had 2 more calls that I didn't know where they came from, and then Jameel called me. And I document literally every portion of that. I ate a ham sandwich. Then I had a Snapple left over from yesterday that I had slightly froze. I drank some of that. I also drank a little bit of water, and all these things I've noted. So what happens is, like, I've been throwing up lately, and I've had to pinpoint, why. I'll get to a point where I'll just throw up water. But I also noticed
I threw up this morning. Did you throw up today too?
Yeah,
I did,
me
yes.
too.
Really?
Okay. I'll tell you, there's a connection to that. It's your devices.
Really?
Your phone. Yes, and you got to pay attention to the areas you're in, because.
So you think documenting it helps? I've been doing that for just whenever the universe and God sends me like a symbol, for example, a red cardinal in my yard, and I know that's like my grandma, you know, visiting me or something like that, I've documented that, but I haven't documented like what you're talking about. I've never done that before ever. So you think that helps?
Well, you got 5G towers in certain areas too.
I'm scared of this 5G that's coming out.
Right. So say, for instance, you went over to your mother's house. I'm just throwing a weird scenario.
That's never going to happen. Sorry.
Mom's house.
No.
Mom has a 5G tower that's 10 feet away from there. You seem to get a little bothered in your stomach. You attribute it to the fact that Mom has upset you, and you're stressed out. So
which causes you to get sick, right?
Right. Well, if you also had notated that you have a 5G tower in the area within, you know.
I got you. So just writing down every single thing that.
Like, I drink water, I drove into this area, and then you find out, well, if I go closer to a 5G tower and I just drank water, I seem to vomit more.
Okay.
I know.
That makes sense to figure it all out.
You can learn how your body is reacting to certain things and be able to fight against it. Sometimes, I've noticed too, if you sleep with your phone close to you, you wake up.
It's actually really bad for you. Your cell phone can give you cancer too.
You should. There's a lot of things that you can do.
I sleep right with my phone right by my head.
That's not good, honey.
I know. I need to stop that.
You really do.
Yeah.
You should just sleep with your phone in a different room. At least not next to your head.
I tell you, you should put at least 4 feet within your phone. So if anything, if you've got to be that addicted to your phone, put earplugs in. It would lessen the vibration. You wouldn't have the frequency so strong by your head.
Do you think that's how they impact our dreams? Do you guys have that part of the, I guess, harassment?
Oh, I think
where they impact your dreams and fuck with your dreams and shit?
Oh, yeah,
I've
had
that.
Cell
phones are directly related to that one.
Okay, that's happened to me too.
I've woken up with defensive wounds. I've almost wondered if I...
Have you woken up with like bruise marks where somebody grabbed you and you, I mean, I live alone, so I'm like, how the fuck do I have these marks on me? Like somebody grabbed me when I was sleeping and I woke up in a panic, like, what the hell?
They can sneak, I promise, I don't know that this is the truth, but I can promise this is how it's happening. I heard a story by someone, and I almost believe it because I almost say I cannot prove it, but I have woken up with defensive wounds. I thought I had a dream, a demonic dream. But what made sense was when this lady said that they can come in when you're sleeping and you're in your deepest sleep, and they monitor your entire everything you do. So when you're
they know you're in deep sleep, so they could like break in your house.
They come into your house and then they slip you a drug, put like a knockout drug, put a little cloth on your face. I've heard that. Now I'm not saying I could ever prove it. Do not get me twisted here.
Yeah.
But what I am
I've heard they even rape girls, like targeted individuals that way.
And I woke up with defensive wounds. I would not believe it if I had not woke up with defensive wounds.
Yeah.
I don't see how that could happen. I mean, it would have to be a real demonic manifestation here on earth for me to have been beat up by demons in my sleep. It just doesn't make sense to me. So what does make sense?
It doesn't make sense to me too. And I've told my friends, and they're like, maybe it's because you were drunk, Andrea. And I'm like, no. Like, they look like grab marks of fingerprints, and I'm alone. How do you explain that?
Right. How do you explain that? Exactly. Yes. How do you explain it? And you were a female. I was just telling Jameel this. I said, I feel kind of bad. It never happened to me, but I heard it. And then I think about, I won't live alone. I'm telling you, I will not get a place alone. I go from place to place to place, and I will continue to do it until I'm dead. I refuse to get a place alone. You don't go to bed and you're fine, and you wake up and you feel like you've been mauled by a stampede of rhinos and attribute it to a dream. No. It doesn't work like that. So
right. Dreams don't make you have physical bruises.
Yeah. And they don't create footprints and all kinds of other crap.
Absolutely.
That's been happening to me recently, and it's scaring me because, like, I do live alone. I have my dog, though. I would think my dog will bark.
Your dog would alert you, yes, unless they've made your dog friendly to them, too.
Yeah, that could be.
Right. And I'm gonna look up a ticket, Carmen, for coming out. What do you think? What do you think about it's gonna be? Los Angeles, and there's one downtown by
remember,
Broadway. Remember?
I'm getting ready to travel to Indiana, and then I would only be coming from Indiana. You're in Michigan.
Oh, okay. When are you doing that?
I have to be there on the 10th.
So that's where you have to go for. You actually have to travel there to get your disability.
I live in Indiana. I just came out to LA. So many.
Okay, I got you.
I moved. I didn't have a place of my own in Indiana because, again, I refused to get a place of my own, and I'm just hopping place to place. So I came up here to see my kids for this spurt of time, and then I'm going back to Indiana for my hearing. And then, like I said, I was kind of up in the air. I have the back. There's other things going in life that have to do with that, but that's for another time.
Okay, so if you're going to be doing that on the 10th, then if you come here right after that, or a little bit after that, or sometime after that, whatever, you'll be here around the same time as Rachel. Both of you'll be coming in at the same time.
Well, Rachel, what's your?
It only costs about $50-$60 to get there from probably to up here, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm trying. I don't know, but I'm trying to imagine.
I think it's $99 from here.
But
from Seattle?
Yeah, I couldn't see it being more than $100. It'd probably be about $70-something up into that area. But
I know it costs about $60 to go from here to Chicago, where I'm at.
There's advanced enough though that you can get it definitely cheaper. It might be as cheap as $30-something, $40-something about this point in time.
Right.
So I've always had a fear of leaving, like, Georgia. I actually made myself go to Pensacola by myself for Pride one year just to, like, make myself defeat this fear. Do you guys have that, too, where you're scared to travel because of the gang stalking and them trying to run you off the road and, cause accidents and stuff?
Oh, yeah, I didn't leave my house for, like, 3 months.
You're good.
I have to, like, pray to God, like, God, please protect me, because I really do get scared to leave.
Yes. Oh, my gosh, I have to laugh because I know the fear. It's very overwhelming. And you know what? I used to be very fearful, but I have a deep-rooted faith in the Most High. I'm telling you, He has pulled me out of some very supernatural instances, and I met Lucifer and I met Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, I know for a fact the word is a pure word. It's a true word. It's infallible. And they tried to change that, and it did not work. For people like me, I know it. I'm rooted in it and grounded in it. When you say your prayers and you're praying to the Most High and you're living as best as you know how, He will come through. So, yeah, I got scared for the long time. I wouldn't leave, but I had to come to a time where God is not the author of fear.
You're right. That's from the devil. Fear is from the devil. Anger, hostility, aggression, God is of light and love and happiness and peace and joy.
And that's what they want to do. They snuff you out and silence you.
Yeah, that is a way to silence me, or to keep me stuck. Like entrapped, imprisoned in Georgia.
Mhm.
You can come up here.
I'd be lying if I said that I don't get scared. I mean, I really do. When I think about traveling, like, I get really sick to my stomach and it stresses me out.
Andrea, you can come up here. I mean, I know how you feel, but if you wanted to, we could work with you, and we're going to have to get to the point to where you know, somebody's gonna have to. We're gonna get to the point at some point where people are gonna have to go meet people and bring this. People are gonna be like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm scared. And we got to remember that people have been so traumatized. That's just how it is with some people, you know. And I mean, it's been so much, especially
That's how
after
it
what
is
you
for
went
me. I know personally that I truly do. Like I'm a very spiritual, godly woman, but that is something that instantly I have fear and it makes me sick to my stomach. Like it's something I have to make myself do. You know what I'm saying? Like make myself conquer that fear and pray, like God, please protect me. Don't let them hurt me. Like I suppose I feel more safe where I'm at right now. But on the road, I get really anxious, really bad anxiety.
Anyone who can break away from their handler. I've not had a handler. Maybe I do.
Mine lives 5 minutes away from me.
Okay, so maybe I even have had one and something. I don't know how their system works, but one thing I do know is the MK Ultra. I've been looking at MK Ultra for years. And
I truly believe that gang stalking is just another name because, you know, it was first, like they have different names for it, but it's the same, but it's advanced, you know? So I do believe that gang stalking is a form of MK Ultra. It's just a different name, and it's more advanced.
I say, you know, kudos to you because obviously you're chosen for something. You know, to be able to come out of it and break that, you have a purpose. If you've got to get on the road, Moses, when he was out trying to bring the Israel people out of Egypt, they even were scared to leave because they were rooted there.
Right.
They were in slavery, and they went for a while and didn't believe, and the Red Sea had to be parted, and these people still turned away. I'm gonna tell you, if you say you're rooted in faith and you have that grounding, one thing you've got to understand is not only does the Word tell you, okay, the fundamentals of life and how to live, and that He will give you strength and He will give you that, but it's also, you know, first I want to put this, you have to, it's also a part of effort. And obviously you've put some effort for it to clean your head and your mind, and you're reaching out to people. So, you know, with all of that being said, I want to say that, you know, obviously there is a spiritual side of you that's being called, that was called out for a reason, that has been spared from the flock for a reason. And has been able to.
Because I should still be programmed. I think I still would if I would have never died and went and met God and gone to heaven. I still think I'd be programmed and have no idea I was programmed.
Well, you got to have faith in what you're praying to, too. So, you know, if now I said, when it comes to me, yes, there's fear. I get sick in my stomach, too. I don't want to leave to go outside, you know, let alone, I don't want to go outside, let alone travel across the U.S. But I have hitchhiked I just hitchhiked not too long ago, got into it with my brother out of the car. He started acting wild and ended up putting his hands on me, and I jumped out in Minnesota. I waited till God said something. At 1 o'clock in the morning, He spoke, get up and move. So I got up and moved. I went outside, and there was a guy down the street. I had to run all the way down to him, but the guy, he actually put me up in a hotel for a week. He didn't know, there was no sexual nothing. But and then I ended up hitchhiking out of there on the following Friday across, and I got with another guy who was very much in love with his girlfriend, so there wasn't nothing there, and it was a very peaceful journey. And of course I prayed, and it was scary. I mean, very scary. But when I pray, I also do something. You have to accept the fact that when you pray and you ask for it, He's going to give it to you. If you are truly,
you're right. You got to have faith. You can't let that fear conquer it or manifest. You got to have the faith manifest. You're right.
If you allow your fear to take a hold of you in any instance, this goes for all of us. If we allow fear to take over you, then guess what? You have lost the battle.
You're
lost the war. That is the reason why people are killing themselves. That is the reason people are destitute and don't know what to do and feel alone and afraid. That is the main reason. If you want to go out and let your story touch someone, you have to produce exactly what you want to preach too. So you got to have faith and be rooted in that. None of us can have fear.
Yeah, fear is the opposite of faith.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was gonna say, how do we, what do we? So right now, as it stands, from the moment we've been talking, we went from Rachel with this new age mind control concept, and me and Rachel were talking about that already. But then we were saying that you're already coming out here, Carmen, to the Midwest. You said you're going to Indiana, right? Am I correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. So I didn't even, if you're gonna come all the way out here, and then so that's gonna be nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump for you to get to Michigan. So you know what I mean? Like, if you would you be able to make it your own way out here from there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Give me time on that. I cannot give a definitive yes at this moment, but I'm pretty sure I could put a call out tomorrow morning, and get in contact with someone that I know that's on the road that may be making that run, and I could quite frankly see if I can coordinate, me leaving there and getting up that way. And I've always been resourceful, so I really don't foresee a problem making my way from Indiana to Michigan. I was just in Michigan, as a matter of fact, and had a really terrible experience in Michigan.
What happened?
No, I take that back. Forgive me. Oh my goodness, I just thought of it. I was in Wisconsin. I was coming up here to visit my kids, though. I thought we went up to Michigan. I went through Illinois. I'll take that back. We were right on the borderline of Indiana, Michigan, and Illinois. And then we went up into, it would have been Waukegan, and that's Wisconsin, ain't it? That's not Michigan, or Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee. So excuse my mess up, but I was in Milwaukee, and I was headed out west with my brother, and there's a backstory, but I ended up knowing that I was going to come out into a whirlpool of mess. I just didn't realize that my brother would put his hands on me, and after we left Milwaukee, he ended up hitting me a couple times in the vehicle, and I had to jump out. And
oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a family thing. It's everybody thing anymore. I'm really used to it.
I kind of am too, but that's super sad if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm just accustomed to it. So yeah, I definitely probably can find a ride. Plus, it's not that expensive. So by that time, what I would hope to do is, A, earn some of my own money, so quite possibly pay my own way. B, have coordinated a way to make it from Indiana to up there. I just need to know what area you said you were in again, and
Muskegon, Michigan.
You said Muskegon.
Muskegon, Muskegon.
Okay.
Right, Muskegon, Michigan. And so it's 3 hours from Chicago. I know that. And so I'm not sure where exactly you're at, if you're northern or southern Indiana or east or west or what, but it's 3 hours from Chicago. And you're, like we shared, like you're right there. You know what I mean? So where were you at in Michigan?
I was wrong. It wasn't Michigan. I was in Milwaukee. I was in Waukegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waukegan, Milwaukee. All right. So
whatever.
Yeah. Right. So if you, it's like, that close, you should be able to do it yourself. But if you can't, we'll network and figure something out. And then, all you got, my philosophy. All you got to do is show up. That's
awesome.
It. And so,
Well, what's the conditions? And I need to know what I need to expect for myself, because of course nobody lives for free, and I definitely don't anticipate that. And then, so what is at this point, what would the living arrangements be just from the initial start?
From the initial start, if you show up, we're already gonna have a hotel, and so you're more than welcome to just come there. Like, we'll have like a couple beds and stuff, and you can just come there and sleep. and hang out, and we're just gonna be out there filming, and we're going out into the woods. You know, we're gonna have the hotel, so you show up, you'll have someplace you can sleep and eat and stuff and hang out. You know, you're not gonna you're gonna have a place where you can sleep, but we're going out into the woods. We're going camping, and you'll have a sleeping bag and a tent.
So are you guys gonna keep your phones on you while you're out, like, camping?
I'm not keeping. I'm keeping my phone. I don't want to be honest with you.
That's how. Yeah, I was wondering because that's how they follow us.
I don't want my phone on me, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't tell nobody else they can't have their phone on them because everybody's a leader and everybody can do it. You know, everybody. If somebody wants a phone, they can have a phone. It's a safety thing. Some people don't. You know what I mean? Like, people feel safe with phones, man. I'm not trying to take that away from nobody, but I don't like phones. You know, I want it. Rachel will probably have her phone, I'm sure, but I probably won't have my phone.
No, I probably won't. Oh yeah, I guess I do kind of have to because I have a kid and everything.
Yeah,
right,
that kind of changes
right.
the game when you're a mommy.
But we'll figure something out. But the real story is we're going out, we're going camping. Like, we're not going to be hanging around coffee shops getting gang stalked all day in the city. Like, we're going out into the woods where there's no people. Like, we're going hiking, we're going camping, we're going to build fires and stuff. We're going to go throw a ball around.
I think that'll be so good for you guys, just to heal.
Right.
Nature is so healing. I can't
right.
get enough.
Right. I'll be damned if I'm not going to be hanging around some fucking hotel all day. I'm going to be we're trying to have.
No, because that's where they're going to gang stalk you the most. I mean, for footage it would be good, but if you want to get away from it.
And then we're nomadic. We're on some nomadic stuff. Like where you come and meet us at probably won't be where the next person comes and does that. I'm not gonna put myself down as a sitting target for no fucking buddy. Like when you get ready to make that journey, we'll have a place for you to come and meet us, and we'll meet you there, and you'll have a room and you can go sleep and stuff. But we're getting sleeping bags, tents, and we're going out in the woods, and we're moving around. We're not gonna stay in one spot.
Yeah, I get that. That kind of sounds funny. Do you think because when you're in numbers, they're not going to attack you in public. First of all, if they were going to attack any of us in public, they would have done it by now.
I mean, I'm not even worried about what other people intend to do or whatnot. That's on them. Whatever they get themselves into, whatever kind of trouble they want to get themselves into, that's on them. But we're gonna be moving around and contacting and talking with a lot of people. And we're going to be going up north a little bit, this is a small area. We can go up north, we can go a little bit east. And so, and then I'm not going to put everything on this phone either. And because we are this is for the show,
Yeah, that's a good idea because I'm sure a lot of our gang stalkers, since we're all targeted individuals, I'm sure we have 4 gang stalkers each listening to this conversation.
Yeah, I live in an area where people literally do not have lives in their whole lives. They've used their whole lives just to stalk me, and then now they're oh my God, what the fuck is he talking about on the internet now? What the fuck? Stupid
I'm sure
motherfuckers
they're preparing, so we can't really say too much online, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to just...
Yeah, motherfuckers invested their whole life and everything into stalking me, and so they sit there and wonder what I'm doing. Man, fuck that. Motherfucker, you ain't going to know nothing about my life. Bitch, you got yourself caught up in something, that's on you. Motherfucker should have been minding your own motherfucking business. So,
I hate to interrupt, but I've got to get off the line for a little bit.
Huh?
Okay.
Oh, I hate to interrupt, but I got to get off the line for a little bit. It was very good to talk to you, ladies.
Oh, you too, sweetheart.
You as well, yeah.
And Jameel, right after I take care of this, I'll get back in touch with you, okay?
Okay, for sure. You already know.
Okay.
We love you. Mwah.
Yeah, we love you.
Bye-bye.
Rachel. So, yeah, isn't Rachel cool?
I absolutely love her.
I know, I love Rachel too. Rachel, I love all of you, and Rachel got a really good sense of community spirit. This is the real community watch. You know what I mean? Like we've been getting stalked and terrorized by fake community watch groups and fake neighborhood watch groups and fake cops and fake governments and all this stuff. Now we're like the real community watch group. Like we're like the real people that help people.
Well, we've been awakened, you know, we're God's chosen ones to help other people. That's what I believe.
Jameel, what I would love to hear, what's your most annoying, frustrating, just mind-blowing, finally you're over it, the straw that broke the camel's back moment in gang stalking?
You mean the thing that made me the most angriest?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like the structure of the gang stalking. I don't like how some fucking piece of shit fucking motherfucking country bumpkin ass motherfuckers can get a position of authority to listen to my phone calls and stalk me and harass me every day. I could have lost my life over it. There's things that I know about. There's things that have nothing to do with those fucking people, and I could have lost my fucking life easily. And they hire some piece of shit fucking white bread fucking motherfucking trailer trash motherfuckers to stalk and harass you, and they put them in shit they got no business being involved in. Motherfuckers got no business being involved in this shit. You know? And so that's what I don't like. Motherfuckers complicate. They don't know how bad. My life's been complicated a lot. Motherfuckers could have got me killed over some motherfuckers playing some game piece of shit trailer trash Walmart cards and all that bullshit. You know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's a good reason to get angry. I mean, that's gonna make anybody snap.
Right. You know, I'm a complicated man. You know, there's a lot of things going on in my life. Motherfuckers come around with all that bullshit, you know, playing little games and shit, piece of shit, trailer trash, handicap bitches and shit, or, you know, fuck. But it's all good, though. I'm not really angry. You know, I mean,
you don't have to lie to kick
it. Yeah.
It's okay to be angry because what we've been through, we're allowed to be angry.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of motivation, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know,